Virtual Possibilities is a medical device startup based right here in Hamilton. My name's Mitch Wilson, and I serve as the firm's Chief Operating Officer when I'm not studying for my MBA at DeGroote. And our platform technology, LaparoGuard, is making surgeries safer. You know, when we think of surgery, we tend to think of traditional open procedures. You make the large incision, you open the patient up. But increasingly, minimally invasive or laparoscopic procedures are becoming the standard of care, where you make a series of small incisions and then insert an endoscope, a small camera. That camera relays what's happening inside your body onto the screen. Now, depending on the camera and the procedure, up to 90% of that field of view can be obscured. And when we're dealing with surgical tools, a lot of these are hot-tipped or they're electrically charged instruments. And with that limited field of view, there can be inadvertent collisions between those surgical tools and delicate soft tissue structures inside your body. In fact, between 2 to 6% of all laparoscopic procedures will experience one of these suboptimal events, and the revision costs must be directly eaten by the healthcare system. So how do we fix that? That's where LaparoGuard comes in. It's a lightweight, nimble platform that runs off a laptop. At the beginning of the procedure, in 45 seconds or less, a disposable probe made by us enters the patient's body, and the surgeon maps out the unique virtual safety zone in which the tools are permitted to operate. And should the tools begin to approach the boundaries of the safe zone, LaparoGuard alerts the team so they can take corrective action before an error occurs. LaparoGuard currently also tracks, records, and plays back all tool movement to push best practices moving forward. So when we talk about other navigation platforms, because that's what we are soft tissue surgical navigation. The competitors typically use intraoperative CT imaging devices. They're very expensive. Good luck getting a budget committee to purchase that in today's capital-constrained environment. And they add significant time to the workflow, so they slow down procedure efficiency in the OR. And so we looked at basically of the hospitals in the United States, of the addressable market, so community hospitals between 100 and 500 beds, at a 6% market penetration, a 5-year forecast shows at least $16 million in recurring annual revenue, and that's just off the disposable probes. Well, how do we get those first sales? And that stems directly from our advisory board. The important thing to note is that we've got top-notch surgeons already signed on to be our key opinion leaders, which will drive clinical adoption and use and purchase in 3 key Ontario sites. From there, you take the clinical data and provide data-driven evidence when we go to the States. That's part of our marketing plan. So basically what we're looking at here is Health Canada approval, so submission in Q1 of 2017 and approval to market it in Q3 of next year and filing a 510K as well in Q1 of 2017. And that allows us to begin marketing our efforts in the States. We've already got surgeons on board in Chicago and Northwestern University that will act as our key opinion leaders in the States. So looking at our business model, it's strictly the razor and blades model that we're all well familiar with. So there's the initial capital expenditure that already significantly undercuts our competition. But it is the disposables that drives both the revenue and the margins for this company. So when we're looking at the margins, it's even when we account for hardware attrition and we're accounting for software saturation, that's where the model's driven. The use of funds would be for a clinical sales and support engineer. Thanks for listening to Virtual Possibilities. I look forward to your questions.